Hello, guys. Hi, Srishti. Hi, Vishnu. How are you guys doing? Hi, Aditya. Am I audible, right? Hi, Pranav. Hi, Shivam. Okay. Okay, so guys, in the previous session, we learned about React, like why we use React and some basics related to React. We saw how to create a React app and what is the folder structure of a React app, right? So today we are going to build our portfolio website, right? So I'll just give you a little bit overview about what we studied yesterday. Just let me know if my screen is visible to you all. Hi, Stuti. Right, I hope it is visible. So in yesterday's class, we saw using like what are components, how we build components, and how we call components inside of different files, right? And we also saw some of the React basics like what are hooks, what is use state, what is use effect, etc. Right. So I hope you remember all that. So let's begin today's session. That is building our portfolio website. Okay, so I'll first show you the demo of the website that we are going to build. So see, here is our portfolio website. Okay, so this is the website that we'll be building today. So this will be our landing page, and then we will be having an about section, right? So inside of our about section here, you can write all your description related to you, and here I have just given name and email and like some of the general things about me, and also you can download your resume from here, link to all your socials plus your projects, right? So this is the portfolio website. It is a simple website because it might be overwhelming to you to build like something very big. So we'll be building this basic portfolio website in today's session, right? Are you guys following me with this? Like, have you guys created like, is anyone present here who has created their portfolio already? I'm doing good, Vishnu. Okay, so Shivam is saying yes. All right, so let's begin with the session, right? So, first thing that I will tell you guys is that we will not be focusing on CSS and all the design part of the website. I am going to import all the style sheet and CSS required to build this project, and you guys will also get all those files to build your portfolios as well. So we will only be focusing on React and how React, different components are built and how different components, interact with each other, all that stuff, right? So let's begin with the session. So I have already created a fresh app for you, right? This portfolio website. So how do we create our React app? We just write npx create React app, and then and then the name of the folder in which you want it, right? For example, here I have created, see, npx create React app portfolio website. So I have created, and these are all the necessary files to start with developing your React app, right? So first thing, as I said, I will take all the style sheets and CSS, etc. beforehand only. So let's first do that, and then we will be building our website. Okay. So inside of the index.html, we are going to utilize three style sheets, right? Two style sheets are from CDNS, okay, CDN JS, right? So it is a popular library where you can get a lot of libraries to manipulate CSS. All right. So we are going to take one bootstrap, and the other one is, I'll just show you from here. Okay. So here I have just stored these, right? So one is for font and the other one is bootstrap. And to utilize cards of bootstrap, like we saw here inside of our project section, these are the bootstrap cards. So we will also be including our bootstrap library here. All right. So let's quickly go inside of our app and let's put these files inside of our HTML, right? So just like normal HTML, like if anyone of you have used Bootstrap, then you might know that you just go inside of your HTML file and you include these style sheets, right? So similar to that, you can do in React also. So right here, I am also doing the same, right? So this is for your font, and the next library that we'll be using is our Bootstrap. Okay. And the next one that we are going to use is for the cards that we take from Bootstrap 5. All right. Okay. So we have included all our style sheets. Okay. Now this is the first thing that is done. Now let's come inside of our SRC folder and let's create all our components and all our, I'll just pull all the images and CSS files here also. Yeah, sure. Shivam, after this session ends, I will share a doc file with you all in which all these links will be present. And also, I will share a drive link in which all the CSS file will be present. All right. So let's first create our components folder. And then the next thing that we are going to have is our images folder, or you can call it assets, right? That we will be using. Like on this site, I'm utilizing 3 images. Okay. Right here you can see I have this particular image. This is also me, this is also me, and also I am using the same image here also. Here this is basically for logo, so you can create your own logo whatever you feel like and you can put it here. All right. Okay, so let's move into our application. So here inside of this I will have some images, right? So I will just pull these images from the website that I had already built. So these are the images. Okay, so I'll just take this folder only and I will just put it inside of my src folder here. Okay, so here I'll just paste it. Okay, I'll remove this one. Let's rename it as images. All right, now this folder has all the images that I'll be using. Okay, also we are using this, see this website is responsive also, right? So we'll be using these SVG icons to show for the navbar here, right? Wait, I'll show you. See, so when you go below some size, that is 750 pixel in my case, so you will be seeing this icon here, which is the menu icon. Once you click on this particular icon, you will be seeing your different sections of the website, that is your home, about, and projects, right? And here we are using this close button and we are using this open button here, right? So these are svg files that are also present inside of our images folder. All right, now let's create new folder for pages, right? See, in our website we are having 3 pages. Okay, so the first page is this landing page that you are seeing here, then the second page is this about page that you are seeing here, and the third one is the projects page. So we'll be creating all these 3 pages inside of a separate folder. So I'll just like for each page we will having separate css files, so I'll just create folders for that. So first we have our landing page, and then we have our about page, and then our project page. All right, let's just call it portfolio. All right, now inside of about page we will be having an about .jsx file in which we will be containing all the necessary components required to display the about page. So I will create a file here. I will say about.jsx. While creating files, remember guys, you should always start it with a capital letter, right? That is a naming convention. If you don't, you will be getting an error. All right. And also here I will be creating my CSS file, that is about.css. Then inside of my landing page also, okay, not a folder. I will be creating my landing.jsx file, and we will be creating landing.css file here. Okay. And okay, there's a typo here. All right. And inside of portfolio, we'll be creating our portfolio.jsx, in which we will be having all our projects, and here we'll be having our portfolio.css. All right. And let me quickly just pull up all the CSS files here, right? The code for all these files will not be focusing on CSS at all, because guys already know how to manipulate CSS, but we'll be focusing on building React and its components. All right. So let me go here and I'll quickly grab these files. Inside of our, we'll just paste it, close this file, and I'll also take the landing.css. Right, and then we'll quickly grab the portfolio CSS file as well. Okay, and I'll also pull up my index.css file from here. Don't worry guys, I'll provide all these files within a drive link to you all. Okay, it will also be present on the website and like everywhere. I'll also circulate on it on the groups. Okay. All right, so we are done with files and everything. Let's come to the components folder, and now let's create all our components that we will be using. Okay, so the very first component is our header. Okay, header.jsx. All right, so this header.jsx is, I'll also quickly show you what component I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make this header here, right? Header of our website. So all the code to the header will be contained here. Then we have these three buttons. For these three buttons, I am going to create a separate component, because for these three buttons, we are showing them differently when it is, responsive. See here, right? So I will make a different file for that. So we have made our header file. Kunal, yes, the hosting part will be shown. We will be discussing that tomorrow. Okay. Today only we are going to build our site, and tomorrow we will also see how to upload code on GitHub, as well as how sites are hosted. Right. That all the things related to hosting and hosting your code on GitHub and hosting your site will be covered tomorrow. The next component, as I said, we are going to make is for the links that we have inside of the header. Okay. Then the next file that we want is, see, I will make a separate component for this part. This you are seeing. See, this component is present twice, right? On this particular page as well as on about page. You see, go here, you will see this component here as well. So for that, I will be, creating it as a separate component. So let's quickly create that as well. So let's call it socials.jsx. All right. Now these three components are complete. Now see, another thing that you have noticed, you might have noticed on this website is this particular section. Like above this image, you see, let me introduce myself and about me. And if you go to projects, you can also see view my work and projects here. Correct. So we will be, making a separate component for that. So that component we will call as page header. All right. Header.jsx. All right. The next component is for all the information shown here, like this image and all this text and these four fields plus the resume. All right, so this we will be showing on a different component, that is about me. Let's name it about me. Okay, so we have about me.jsx, and the next component that we are going to have is for the projects part. Like we are showing this is the page header, as I said, like we have created a separate component for this, but for this also we need a separate component, so that we will be creating in projects. All right, we will just write projects.jsx. All right, so we are we'll be utilizing all these components, and using all these components we are going to build all the three pages that we require in the site, right? So I hope this is clear to you all. Rohit is asking, I'm confused in this large file structure. Like, can you tell me, like, what are you not getting here? See, I have created separate folders for everything. For the components that we are having, we have created all the different components that we can, see, whenever we are developing in React, there might be different things that get repeated. Like, for example, in this particular website, you can see the social section, right? You have this section here as well and here as well, correct? And same goes for this page header that we just made. So this is also present here, plus it is also present here, right? So we are trying to divide everything in components, and then what we have to do is we have to combine these three components to show as pages, right? Because on the home page we have the socials and header and this particular thing, right? This particular text and also an image. And on about, what do we have this particular component plus all these things here, right? Similarly for projects we have this component and all these projects here, right? So for each and everything we have divided our whole website into components, and wherever we have to like combine them. See, I have also created three pages because we have three sections in this website. First is home and about and projects. So here only we will be combining these components according to our need, right? Whatever components we need to show, we will be combining them in these three pages here, right? So I hope now it is clear to you. All right. Now let's begin with the development part. So the first file that we will be creating is the socials.jsx. All right. So let's first quickly grab our arrow function here. Right. So as we discussed yesterday, we will be using functional components. Like there are two ways to develop your React app, that is using class components or functional components. So class components are a traditional method. There were certain performance issues or something like that. Like class components can very well be used and optimized, but in functional components, like React leveraged function components using hooks that we learned in yesterday's session, that is use state, use epic. There are other hooks also, use memo, use context. There are a lot of hooks, so React just leverage these functional components with hooks. So that is why we will be using functional components, right? So in this particular portfolio website, you can see there is not a lot of interactivity happening, right? So that is why we will only be utilizing use state hook in today's session. Okay. So now let's begin. So let's quickly code for socials. Now see, for socials, I am using some external CSS here, right? So I will just simply grab that CSS code here, so that we don't have to write CSS. Okay. Now let's start coding out. Are you guys following me, right? If you have any doubt, just put it in the comment section and I'll tell you. Okay. Now let's start with our socials. Okay. So here, first thing is we'll be having a div tag. See, what are we seeing in socials part? We are seeing these icons, right? So these icons are coming from our bootstrap, right? We will be using bootstrap icons here, and we are just arranging them in rows or columns here, right? So let's quickly write the code for that. So here we'll be having a div element. Now see, in React, when we are writing classes, because see, I have my CSS files, etc. So while writing classes, you just don't write like this, right? In React, you have to use class name, right? And inside class name, you write whatever class you are using from your CSS file, right? So I'll quickly write here. So the class I was using was social icons here. All right. Now, I am also using some style here, right? Do not focus on the code a lot because sorry, the CSS a lot. Just focus on building the React and understanding how components are being built. Here we have used these fragments also, right? Inside of these fragments, we are using this div, and we have a class name called social icons. So this class will just arrange our icons according to um, like row or column on different pages, right? And this class have been implemented inside of our index.css here. Okay, so I'll just show you. I'll not be doing this for everything, but I'll just show you here. See, here we have our social icons class. So we are utilizing this class from inside of index.css. Now let's come here. Okay, now inside of styles, we will also be using icon styles. So I will just write styles dot social icon here. All right. Okay. Now inside here, we have different components, sorry, different these. And you also have, if you click on this, you will be taken to the GitHub profile. And we also have, see, once I hover on this, it is showing Priyanshi Porwal GitHub profile. So we have to, have a anchor tag, as well as inside of that, we will be having our icon tag. All right. So first, let's have an anchor tag here, and it will href2. Right now I'm not giving it anything, right? All right, so it will be having this, and alt will be just GitHub profile. Okay. All right, and inside of this, we will be having our icon. All right, and as I said, in icon we are having our classes as fa GitHub. Okay, and fa brands. This is coming from Bootstrap. All right, and inside of this, also let's give it a title. The title will be my GitHub profile. GitHub profile. All right. Similar to this, we will be having other other objects, that is for Instagram, right? So here we will be having this will be the same, and it will be Instagram here. All right. All right, and then we will be having this as Ram. Okay, and after this, let me just copy and paste all these. Okay. This will be for, let's say it is for LinkedIn, and let's say this is for what else do we have on the site? Okay, Twitter. This is for LinkedIn, and here we will be having for Twitter. Okay, and also to show these, we have class names also here, right? First of all, let's have styles, right? These are styles that we defined above, styles dot icon. All right, this will be common in all of these. Okay, let's give it here as well, here. All right, so okay, wait. This will be for LinkedIn, and this will be for Twitter. Okay, this is done, right? All right, let's also quickly start this app. All right, we are inside this npm start. This will start our React app. All right, so this file is complete, right? We have completed our socials component. Now let's move to the next component. The next component that we'll be covering are the links, right? We saw that we have certain links on the website, right? So let's quickly come here and complete our links. So I have to have this first, right? And then we will be having some links here. Okay, if you want, you guys can code with me also, otherwise it's fine. Also, we will be having a doubt session for this also. Okay, I'm not able to see the live chat. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, here inside of links, see what is happening is if I go here, oh, sorry, if I go to the app, what is happening is if I go, below 750 pixels, then I have to see this particular screen. And on clicking this, I have to see this particular section, right? So to see this particular section, what I am going to do is I am going to have a use state here, right? I am going to have a use state hook here. All right. So we'll just say const and we'll say is model open and set is model open, right? And we will be having this as a use state, and it will be a boolean value, right? It will be a boolean value. So initially it will be false, right? So we will assume that the user is viewing the website on a desktop, right? So initially it will be false. So if our, like, we have media queries implemented in the css file, if we go below 750 pixel, what should we do? We should, set this to true, and we should be seeing those buttons here, right? Which, wait, these buttons, right? So this is menu open and this is menu close, right? So I have these buttons here, close.svg and open.svg. I will quickly just see to, utilize these things, you have to import them, right? So I have to import open, right, from this particular folder, images folder, and from this we need to get this open.svg, right? So this will be used in your code, right? You cannot just give an href and just put it there, an src, and inside of that you just give it in strings. You can't do that in react. You have to properly import this from a particular location, like wherever it is located, right? So we will import it from images folder, right? In images folder. And what is its name? Its name is open.svg, right? Then we will also import for close from slash images slash close.svg. All right, so we have these things. Now let's create a div tag here. Inside of this div we will be having a button. All right, see, this button we will be issuing conditionally, right? When this model is open, then we should be, seeing this close button. If this is not open, then we should be seeing this open button, right? So let's quickly write it for that. So the class name for this button is drop down toggle, right? So it will be responsible for showing that particular drop down that we just saw, and also according to that show buttons here. All right, so we will be having this class, and also we will be having on click here, right? Inside of on click we will be having a callback which will, just toggle this model open, right? So we'll just say set is model open to is model open, right? So okay, wait, just a minute, guys. Okay, I hope now I am visible. Okay, let's code it out. Okay, so we have this button, and according to this, like, is if this is model open is true, then what should happen? We should be seeing this close button. Otherwise, we should be seeing this open button, right? So let's quickly write for that is model open. Then if this is true, then what should happen? We should be seeing an image, right? And what image should it be? First of all, let's give it its class name. That is going to be close menu. Okay. And then src will be close. As I said, we cannot just put this particular thing here, right? We just cannot put this. We have to first import a particular image and then put it here. All right. So first, this is done. Now what else we have to do? We can just add an alt here. So inside of that alt, we will be writing just close. All right, if this is not visible, we'll see alt, right? And then we will be having image, and inside of, like, if this is not true, like if this is false, then we should be seeing that menu button, right? And this drop down toggle, it has media query. Like, we will only be seeing this button when we will be going below 750 pixels. All right, so we'll have another image tag here. Here the class name, is going to be open menu, and src is going to be open. All right, and okay, wait, src is going to be, and alt is going to be open. All right, so this is our button. Now, apart from this button, what are we seeing on links? We are seeing the different buttons, right? That is for the home page, that is the landing page, then for the about page, and then for the portfolio page or your projects page. Correct. So let's quickly add the code for that. So for that, what we need, we will be having a nav bar here, and inside of this nav bar, first let's quickly give it its class name. So as I said, according to media queries, we are implementing it. So this class name will be, dependent on that. So now whenever you want to, I hope you know basic JavaScript. If you have to, give something dynamically, then what do? You have to put these backticks, right? And inside of these backticks, you can give dynamically whatever you want to, right? So the class is links, and inside here, like, according to, again, is model open, right? We will be implementing some classes here. Okay, so if model is open, then what should happen? The class should be open, otherwise the class should be closed. All right, okay, so that's it for the class name of the snap tag. And inside here, what we saw, there were, anchor tags to, like, links to each of the buttons there, right? So we'll be having those anchor tags here, right? So we will be, having href. So for the first page, let's call it home, right? Hash home, and then let's give it its class. So the class name is going to be okay, so this doesn't have any class. So on click, what should happen? On click, what should happen? That particular, like, okay, wait. So here, see, this logic we have implemented here, right? So we don't have to implement it here again and again. So here we will just say that if our model is open or not. So we'll just say set is model open to false, right? And then here we have to just write home. All right, and then similarly we will have for other links. So let's have these. So the second one is for about, and the third one is for your portfolio, that is your projects. Okay, so let's quickly write it here as well. We will be having about, and we will be having our projects section. Okay, so this component is also complete. All right, now let's move on to the next component. Let me just quickly check if I have not missed any classes. So, all right. Okay, so that is it. Okay. Now let's move on to our next element, that is header, right? So now inside of header, we saw that there was one logo, right? Inside of this, we have one logo here, right here, and here we have this, right? So we just created this particular section, right? And here we have our logo. So we will simply go inside of this particular file, and I'll quickly import my arrow function here, and I will be just having these fragments. And inside here, what is the first thing that we need? We need the image, right? A logo, right? So first let me quickly import that logo here. So our say import logo from whatever logo you want. Here I'm going to use crackDSA logo. So as I said, you have to import whatever image you want, this way only, right? Only then you can use that image. You simply say src and inside of that logo. You cannot use any strings or anything like that. You cannot go ahead and use this particular string. All right. So you will have slash images and slash we have crack DSA one. All right. Dot PNG. Okay. So we have this. Now inside of header, first thing that we see is this particular logo, correct? And then we see that then we see this links, right, which we just created. Now firstly let's have a section here, right? So I'll firstly give its class name as header because that is what I'm using in my css file. And then inside of this I want an image tag. All right, so inside of this image tag, what do I need? I need an src, and src will be my logo. And then I need a class because obviously I'm showing it um, it this way, right? It has some size and like it has some direction, etc. So that I will be putting here. All right. All right. Let me just change it to header. Okay, and this will be header as well. All right. And inside here the class name is logo. Okay, and that is it. You can also give an alt here. You can just say image. All right. So this is the first thing that we need to show, that is our image. And after this we need to show our this component, correct? Links. So I will just write links here. And this, you see, I am using an extension because of which it gets imported itself, right? You can use a control space after you just come at the end of the name, right? Just put your cursor here and you can use control space command, and then you can see an import link and it will itself be imported, right? You guys are following? Like if there is any doubt, please ask in the comment section. Okay, let's move to our next component, that is project section, right? So this project section, as I said, I am doing nothing but I am just using bootstrap cards, right? So I will quickly grab those bootstrap cards from bootstrap itself. All right, so let's go to bootstrap quickly and grab those cards. So I'll just write bootstrap cards here and we'll be getting those cards. All right, so there are multiple cards. So whichever card that you want to grab, you can grab it. So in my case, I am using this particular card here. Wait, let's see what card we are using. Okay, so we are using this particular card. So let's go and see where is it. Okay, so it's here. All right, so I'll just copy this code here and I'll just paste it, and I will have these cards here. You can just give it any name that you want to, right? I will just say project one. Okay, and right, and you can just add whatever content it is related to the project. And you can also add any button here, like a link to your project, right? I'll write project 2 here. Okay, all right. So this file is also complete, projects.jsx. Now let's move on to our next file, that is page header, right? So we were seeing that this page header was like on two components, that is this component. So it has two things. First is like this text, and another one is this text. So we have two text here. So this is the only these are the only things that we have in this component. So let's grab our arrow function and let's have our JSX fragments, and then let's code it out. So the first thing that we have is the, like we just have two text here, right? So I'll just have those two texts. So one is a paragraph tag. Let me write the class name here. The class name for this is page description. All right. So these are present in index.jsx. If you, sorry, index.css, you can find it from there. And inside of this, see, inside of this page header, what do we want is we want to show data dynamically, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to have two props here, that is title and description, right? So wherever we use this, we will be utilizing these title and description here, right? So I will have the description inside of this para tag. All right. And the next thing that we have is an h3 tag. All right. So this h3 tag has a class name of page title. All right. And inside of this, we will be having our title. So see, whenever we are, see, we have done two things here. First is we have destructured it. Like in the previous session, what we saw was we were using props here. You can also do it this way, right? You can simply write props and you can, grab this particular property of the props this way, right? This is also correct. But if you like destructure it here itself, it is like easier to read, right? So you're like just cleaning the code and making the code easier, right? So that is why we will have it this way only, right? So we have these structured these properties from our props, that is title and description, and I have just used these curly braces, that is I have some dynamic information to be shown and I have just put it here, right? So our page header is also complete. Next, now let's move on to our next component, right? So see, most of the components are complete. We have completed our header, we have completed our links, we have completed our page header, we have completed our projects, and we have also completed our socials. Now the next thing that we need to complete is about me, right? So this about me section is going to contain all this information, that is this particular image and all this, right? This particular text and this divider, and then I have four fields to be shown here, then this download resume and these social icons, right? So let's create about me, like it's a big component, right? So first, let me remove this. Let me have my fragments here, and then we are going to have a div element. All right, inside of there, let's give it a class name. So it's gonna have, okay, it's gonna have a class name of about container. Okay, right. About container. And it also has another class. Like if you want to give more classes, you can just separate it with a space and you can just write it here, just like we do in normal HTML or CSS files. We just take both the classes and we separate them by a space. So that is also valid in React. It's just this changes, right? You are no longer writing just class, you have to write class name in React. Okay, now inside of this, we will be having another div for showing everything as a row. All right, so let's give it another div, and inside of this div, first thing that we are going to have is our image. Right now, this image is the image that we saw here. So let's write the code for it. So first thing is we need to import this image, right? So I will quickly import this particular image. So it is present in about me.jpg. So I will just say about me image, and I am importing it from this particular folder, that is image slash whatever image it is, that is about me.jpg. All right. Okay. Now inside of this image tag, let's also give it some class name, etc. First of all, let's give it a src. So it is about me, right? We just imported it, correct? Now let's give it the class name, etc. Right? So it is going to have a class as rounded. This is coming from Bootstrap, all right? So don't worry about this. All right. And then we also have to give it like some height and width. See, if you want to use inline css, that you can just write style here, and you can put two curly braces, and inside of this you can utilize any css property that you want. For example, I want to give it a height and a width, right? So I can simply write width just like I write in css. I can write width, and I will give 300 pixels width, and height I'm going to give as um, let's say 250 pixels. All right. So this is done. Our image is complete. Also, let's give it an alt, right? Let's just write image here. All right. So one thing is complete. Now the next thing we see here is these three things, right? That is some text, correct? So let's quickly have that. So we are going to have it inside of another container here, okay? So I will have a div tag here, and inside this, let's give it a class name. All right. Again, we are going to like show it as some container. So this is my content container. All right. And when we have an h4 tag here, all right, and there you can just write anything that you would like to. I'm writing nice to meet you. All right. Then let's have an h5 tag, and okay, inside of this h5, like having fun building this portfolio. All right. And let's then have another div container. Okay, wait. All right, here we have another div container in which we have our class name as content description, right? And inside this, see, now this data I am, fetching dynamically, right? This data I am going to give inside of my app.js, and then I will access it from there, right? So what I need to do is, in that case, I need to get it, right? I need to get it, right? So from where am I going to get it? I am going to get it from app.js. So we will write all this data there. But right now, just let's write whatever data we are going to get. So the first thing that we are going to get is brand and email and my location and availability. Ability. All right. So we have these things here, and then we will just put it here inside of a tag here. I will just say brand. Okay. This data we are getting dynamically. All right. Okay. Okay, Rohit is asking, please tell me about favicon file and manifest.json. See, favicon, you can simply go inside of index.html and change it from there. All right. So right now React uses this particular favicon that you can see here, right? Which is the React symbol only. So you can just simply go inside of index.html, right? And here you can see we have our favicon here, and the favicon file is present here. So you can simply replace it this way. All right. And for manifest.json, it is nothing but it just has information about the different files that you use, like all the public images or logos that you have used. It has just given us the information about that here. All right. Okay. Now let's focus on building our, yeah, about me section. All right. So we were here, right? So what we were building was we have written for brand, right? And after brand, what do we have? We have our name. Okay, so first we have a div with a class as info container. All right, we have this here, and after this we have another div. All right, inside of this we have class name is equal to row. All right, inside of this we have another div. All right, and here we will be making it responsive, right? So for that we will be utilizing classes from bootstrap, right? So we will have class names as all 12, right? All md 6 and info. It is, this class is written inside of our index.j css file, right? And here we will be having a span tag. All right, and here inside of this we will be displaying our name. All right, so okay, first, okay, inside here we will be displaying our name. All right, and after this we will be displaying what is my name. All right, so it is Porwal. All right, now after this particular div we have another div with the same class. I'll just copy this. Okay, and here we will have our email, and on our email, like on clicking our email, what we are going to do is we will be, just opening up the email app in your phone or browser, wherever it is, and then we can simply send the mail also, right? And we will also write the mail, so that can be achieved using the anchor tag. All right, so we will write inside of anchor tag. So to send mails, there is a keyword called mail to, and after that you can write your mail, and then when you click on it, your browser or sorry, your desktop, your browser or your website, when you will be, using it on your mobile, it will just tell us it to open that particular mail app. All right, so that we can give inside of href, right? So again we will be utilizing backticks here. All right, and we will be having mail to, right? So this is a keyword to opening the mail app, and we will be having our email here. All right, so when you open the when you know click on this particular button, the your mail app will be opened with this particular email as the receiver. Okay, so after this we will simply write our email here, which we'll be getting from app.js or app.js. All right, so okay, so we are done with this, and then we are going to have another row, like after this particular div, like we will be having this same. All right, let's just copy paste it. It will be row, and there will be same class names, and here I'm going to show my location, and my location will be fetched from app.js location. All right, and all right, and then we will be showing availability. ability, and here we will simply write, we'll remove this href and we will write availability here. All right. Okay. Now this particular section is done. That is, uh, which JSON file are you asking? If you're asking about package.json, then yes, definitely it is very important to use because it tells the whole information about your app. All right. And favicon, like, it is up to you. Like, if you want to use a favicon, you can use. There are sites where favicons are not used, but it makes your site look good. Like, if you see this particular thing here, or see bootstrap, here we have this favicon, here we have this favicon. Like, favicon, like, it just makes your site look good. It's just one aspect of web development. All right. Okay. So we are done with, all right. Yeah, I was explaining this. So we are done with this part, right? Now what we have to implement, this particular button, right? And all these social. So we had already created a component for this, right? So we don't have to, we will just simply put that component here, and here we have to, put our resume and show this button, and we have to, pass it a function so that we are also able to download our resume, right? So first let's create this button. So this button will be created after this particular section is info container. After this particular section, we are going to have our download resume button. So first let's give it a div tag. Inside this div tag, first let's give it a class. The class name is going to be button container. All right. And then we will be having a button here. Then, all right. So inside button, let's give it a class name, and the class name is coming from btn, and download cv. All right. Okay. Now also we will be passing it a function here, right? So on click, we will be passing a handle download function, for which we'll just write the logic. All right. Inside here, we'll just write download resume. All right. So this is our button. Then after giving some space here, after this particular div, okay, after this particular div, we want our socials to be seen as well. Okay, so we'll just simply import it. Now we will also make an resume file here to be downloaded. So I will make the resume file here. So right now it will not contain anything. I'm just creating a resume.pdf here. It does not has anything, but you can put your resume obviously here. So now let's write the logic to, a download resume, this handle download function that we just created. Okay, so we'll say const handle download. It will be an arrow function. All right. Okay. So first what we'll be doing is we will be creating a const link. Okay. So to create a DOM element, all right, we'll just say create element here. All right. So we'll be creating an anchor tag here. All right. And then we will be linking it to our resume, right? So to first again, like, just we are doing for images, we also need to import this particular resume to use it, right? So before we create this href, what we need to do, we need to import this particular resume here, right? Where will we are going to import it from? We are going to import it from this particular folder, that is pages, about, and then resume, right? So let's see where this is present. Inside of about, you can access resume dot pdf, right? Now I am importing resume, so I will write link dot href is equal to resume. All right. Now I will just simply, like, say link dot download and here I'm going to give name of my resume when it will get downloaded. Right here it is called resume.pdf, but here we can pass it a name, right? So if I write, let's say I write Priyanshi Porwal resume dot pdf, so this file name will be shown, right, once you download this resume.pdf on clicking this button, right? Then we will just say if this gets onloaded, right, this particular element, then uh, let's give it an arrow function. All right, then this particular DOM element should be removed, so I'll just say link dot remove. All right, and then I will just append this particular element inside of my DOM. So I will say document dot body dot append child, and inside of this we will pass this link, and I will just say link dot click, and this will download your resume, right? So now we have completed our about me section as well, right? Now all our components are complete. Let's go inside of our pages and let's complete them. All right, so let's okay, so let's first go inside of app, right? So the first thing that we have here is our header, right? This particular header file that you see, correct? Go to home, so you have this particular header. Okay, so let's first put it here. So we'll say header. All right, and as I said, we will also be putting all those details that I just used, like name or brand or email or availability or location, everything we will be providing here. So I'll be creating an object for that. I will say const personal details, right? So it will be an object, so it is going to create have what name. Okay, let's import this header here. All right, so first we'll be having a name, so it will be my name, and then what will be having, we will be having location, so you can put any location like any string here. So I am in India, so I will put India here, and then we have availability. Okay, so availability, like I am available. All right, let's also remove these logos etc from here, and let's also like import all our files inside of our index.js, right? So I'll just go here and I will import all my CSS files, right? So import, I want to import about and landing.css and portfolio.css, so I will just write import slash it's present inside of my src slash pages slash about slash it's called about dot css. All right, so similarly we'll import other css files as well. So I'll just write import, I will just copy this and I'll just change the directory names etc. We have a src page, and then we have landing page, and inside of that we have landing.css, and after this we'll have import this. Then we have our portfolio, and inside of portfolio we have our portfolio.css. So dot, all right, so it's already present here, right? So we have all our css files here as well. All right, so here what else we need, we need the brand. So I'll just say I am a web developer. Okay, I guess, yeah, we also need email here. We also need email here, so I also put my email here. So let's say Priyanshi at the rate something.com. Okay, so here is our email. All right, so now first let's see if this is working or not. See, we can see our header, right? We have only imported our header and we are able to see our header. All right, so right now if I click on home, about, or projects, I'm not getting directed anywhere, right? So let's make our first page. So our first page is the landing page. All right, our first page is the landing page. So okay, so first let's go and create our landing page. Now inside of landing page, see, we have two things, right? First is this particular text, right? That is my name. And then I have this particular section where it is, typewriting. So it is a popular library, right? You can get it from npm packages. So it is a library that I am using. So it's called typewriter effect. So you can use this like in your normal applications as well, and also inside of React, right? So how to use this library? See, npm is node package manager. So all the libraries related to npm you can use in React, right? And this is a wonderful thing about React is, see, we have divided everything in terms of components. So what people started doing were, people started designing their custom components to be used by everybody. So if you see this typewriter, like, you will just see how easy it is to use these different components, right? So see, for React, we have something like this. We can, first install this library, and then we can import it like this. And see, this is like a component, right? Just like custom components that we are creating, right? We are creating these about me header, links, page header. These are custom components, right? So these we have created. So what people did, people started creating, custom components to be used by everyone. So they started, providing it open source. So this is one of those libraries. So you can just simply grab this. So first of all, what you need to do is, you need to copy this command. Like, first you need to install this particular package, only then you will be able to use it, right? So let's open a new terminal here, and inside here we will paste this command. Also see, I am not inside of my React project, so this will install it at the wrong place, so that we don't want, right? So I will remove it from here. So the first thing what I should do is, I should be moving inside the folder in which my React project is there, right? So my React project is present inside of portfolio website. So first I have to cd inside of this, right? So I will say cd portfolio website. All right, so once I am inside of cd portfolio website, then I can npm I this particular library. Right now I hit enter, and it will be, placed inside of our React application. Now once this library gets, downloaded, I will show you one thing more. So it takes a little time for it to get downloaded. Okay, also if you guys have any doubts, please keep putting them inside of the comment section so that I can know. You guys are following with everything that I have explained till now? If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. All right, see, this library have been installed. Now, if you get something like this, so don't worry about this. This is just a warning. It is not going to do any harm. All right. So now see, once I downloaded this particular library, if I open my package.json, I can see my this library present here. See, I have typewriter effect here. Correct. So whenever we are, see, our package.json is important for this reason, right? Whatever, like, it contains all the information about our React application, all the dependencies or libraries we are using, and see, name, version, etc., everything, right? And you might be wondering what this package log.json is. Like, if we have package.json, if we go inside package log.json, we have the same format, but we have, like, it is very big if you see. So this particular file is to, like, it is a description about all the dependencies that you have. Like in package.json, you have description about the dependencies you have installed, and in package log.json you have the description about these dependencies that you have in your React application, right? So that is why these two files are very very important, right? So whenever you want to like see if a particular, like let's say you are working with other people etc, and you want to see whether you have installed a particular package or not, you can simply open package.json and from there you can see. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the landing JSX page. So inside of landing JSX, what were we seeing, right? We were seeing this information, right? So now we know where this is coming from. This is coming from this typewriter effect, right? So we will just implement it. And first is this string, and then we have this particular image here, like shown in the background, and then we have this portion, right? That is of socials. So we have an element for this. We will simply see this is text, so we can simply write it on the landing.jsx, and we will also add this on landing page. Okay, now let's quickly build our landing page. So first what we do, we create an arrow function. All right, and then all right, now we have created our landing page. Now see, for this we will be creating sections. Okay, for each page we will be having sections so that we can href to those sections, right? The different pages thing we will be implementing tomorrow. Today we will be implementing it as a single page. All right, so first here we will give a section, right? So to be able to access this section, I'm going to give it an id. So this is the landing page, so I am giving it an id of home, and then let's add the class name here. All right, so the class name I'm using here is of landing, and also for landing I have some styles that I have just put inside of this document here. So I'll just copy paste these styles, right, and use them. All right, so I will see, whenever you are taking these styles, you should always paste them before return. So this return is only going to return your JSX syntax. All the functionality you have to add before the return statement. Okay, so here I have added this. Now let's just write the code for it. So as we saw, first thing that we want to see is what, that typewriter, that particular text in typewriter, right? So inside of style we will have styles dot landing. This is styles dot landing, and now here inside of this we will have another div tag. All right, inside of this div we will be having our text. All right, so let's quickly give it a class name as well. See, this particular landing page will be going to have name, right? Which we will be getting from app.js. So this is a prop which we will be sending from app.js to this landing.jsx, right? So the class name here we have text description. Okay, and sorry, it will be text container. Okay, and then we have some styles also. So we'll say style is equal to styles dot text container, and inside of this div we have an h1 tag. All right, so inside of that h1, what do we have to do, we have to show the name, okay, that we are getting through props. All right, let's give it a class name. Its class name is name. All right, and we'll have its style as styles dot name. Okay, so it is complete. All right, after this particular h1 tag, so let me do this. All right, after this particular h1 tag we need another div which will be having our typewriter effect. Okay, so we'll give div class name will be description. Okay, this, sorry, description. All right, and okay, so within this div what we have to do now, let's go to, all right, inside of this typewriter. Now as I said, I can just use this particular component. I can just say import this typewriter. All right. Here, and then we will just copy this particular typewriter code and we will just put it here, okay, inside of our description. Now see, we will be able to see this thing, right? So let's just complete this landing and we'll see how this is working, okay? So also, see, for this typewriter we have this particular thing. We can also have some other properties that we can implement. See, we have different methods, so you can just go inside of typewriter and see you have options. Inside of options you can give strings. So the string that you will give is hello and world. These are the two strings you want to give inside of the typewriter, and then it is saying auto start is true. So these are different methods, so you can just go through the documentation and see how different things are working, right? So React is just leveraging the component structure using these libraries. Like there are so many third party libraries for a lot of things, right? So there are just some libraries built to be used with React, right? For example, Material UI. There is also Chakra UI. You might have listened, right? So these are all the libraries that you can use. Now our description is complete and our text is also complete. After this, we also have an image, right? So let's have that image here, okay? So let's have a div element first, and inside here let's give it a class name. So the class name for this particular is image, oh sorry, image container, okay? And then inside of this image container I'm going to have my image. All right, so first let's give it a class name as landing image, okay? And then we will have different things here, that is different properties here. That is initial will be, okay, wait, where am I writing it? It will be here, initial, if in initial we are going to have an opacity of zero point 0.4, and then we will also be having an animate. Inside of this we will be having an opacity of okay, here we have 0 and here we have zero point 0.4. And then for transition we are going to have duration as 1 and ease as ease in and out, okay? And style we are going to have styles dot landing image, and then we are going to have src, right? So what image are we going to use? We are going to I am using my image, right? So let's import it also. So I am using import, let's call it landing image from my images folder, okay? Why is it not coming? Okay, so it is present inside my images folder, and inside of my images folder I'm going to use this particular image. So it is m 4 times e dot jpg, okay? So we have this particular image, so we'll pass it inside of our src. So we'll just simply write the way we have taken it. So we'll say src landing image, and that's it. We can also give an alt in case our image doesn't load. All right, so that's it. So we have taken our image as well, okay? The next thing that we have on this page is that social thing that we saw. All right, so we'll also get this. All right, so our landing page is now complete. Now let's pull it inside of our app.js. So it is our app.js. Now first thing, see, first we need to get this landing page here. And after we get this landing page here, we need to pass the prop that we are using. We are using this name prop, so we have to say name is equal to, right? So to get this name prop, so we will write personal details dot name so that we can get it. All right, now let's go on our React app and let's see if this is working or not. See, now this is completely like working fine, just like this, correct? So we have this typewriter here. So okay, let's refresh this so we can see the typewriter effect. So it's saying hello world. You can change it accordingly, right? So as I shown you inside of the documentation, you can just take this strings, right? You can target this and you can change these strings, right? And you can also add as many strings as you like also. Whatever properties or methods you want to add, you can just go inside of this and you can add them. All right. So our landing page is complete. Now let's move on to the next page, that is our projects page. Right. So inside of our portfolio.jsx, let's first take our arrow function in and then let's add a section. All right. So inside of this section, what we are going to have, first of all, is a class name. All right. So class name is going to be portfolio. All right. So inside this, now see, inside this, what do we have? Inside of projects, right? First you have this, so we made it as a separate component. It is present inside what? It is present inside of our page header. All right, so first we need to pull up this particular component and then we need to pull up this particular thing. So this is present inside where? It is present inside projects.jsx, correct? All right, so now let's build this also. So we only have two things here, right? So also let's give it an ID. So the ID is going to be portfolio, right? So the first thing that we need here is page header. All right, so inside of page header we need to pass two things, that is a title and a description. So the title is going to be projects, correct? uh, See, it should be a string. All right, and then the next is description. Description is going to be whatever you like to, like where we were writing view my work, so you can write this here as well. All right, after this what do we have? We have our project section, so I can just write projects here and let's import this project section here. All right, and inside of projects we don't have to pass anything else, right? Also these projects should be inside of a row, so I will also add a div. All right, so inside of this div I will place my projects. Wait. Okay, inside here we will be adding our projects. Okay, and let's give it a class name as row. Okay, so that's it. Our portfolio or our project section is also complete. Let's pull it up inside of our app.js. All right, let's go inside of our app.js and let's call it here, that is our portfolio, right? Okay, so it has also been imported itself. Now let's go here and see if we are able to see it. All right, so we can see this. You can view my work, and here are project 1 and project 2. Right, so if I click on projects, I will be directed to this particular section. As we discussed, we are not going to give different URLs to these. That we will be doing tomorrow. Okay, so now let's move on with the last page that we have, that is about.jsx. Let's quickly build it as well. Okay, so let's add a section here as well. So that section, so this section is going to be having an ID of about, and what else? We need to give it a class name. The class name is going to be about. Okay, now inside this particular section, what do we have? We have this page header, and then we have this whole component. Now this whole component has been implemented where? It has been implemented inside of about me component, correct? So we can just pull up page header and about me and we can just place it here. All right, so let's do that quickly. All right, so first things first, we need to get name, brand, and availability, and what else we need? We need email and we need location. All right, so we need these things, right, as props. From where? From app.js. Right, now inside here, what we need to have, we need to have a page header. All right, so let's import page header here. And page header requires two attributes. See, it is telling us we need a title and a description, so we need to provide title and description here. So the title is going to be, can just say about me, and the description is going to be now let's just write about here. You can add any string you would like to add in your description. And the next thing that you need to pull up is your about me component, correct? And inside of this about me component, you need to pass a few things. That is your name. All right, and then you need to pass brand is equal to brand. All right, then what do you need to pass? You need to pass your email. Okay, pass your email. All right, and you need to pass your location and availability as well. So let's just pass these as well. Okay, location is done, and then we need availability here. Okay, wait. All right, so this particular section is also complete. Let's put it inside of our app.js. Okay, so this is the last thing that we need to put here. Also, what, like, we need to provide all the things here, right? See, if you hover on about, you need to pass name, brand, availability, email, location, everything. So you need to pass everything from personal details, right? So let's quickly write that also here. Okay, so what do you need to pass? You need to pass name, and name will be passed from personal details dot name. Location will be passed from personal details dot location. Then you also have to pass your availability, which will be passed from personal details dot availability. Okay, and then you need to pass brand. You will be passing it from personal details dot brand. All right, and then you need to pass your email, that is personal details dot email. All right, okay, so now it's complete. Alt shift F. All right, now let's go to our app and let's see if we can view this. So see, now we can see our name, we can also see our location, we can see our email and our availability. Now you can see these things, right? These things were present on app.js, right? That is my name and India, I am available, I am a web developer, etc. See, everything is present here and we are just showing it here. Okay, and as for download resume, let's click on this button. So see, we have downloaded this resume. If you try to open this, you will not be able to, and the reason is because our resume is empty, right? So like we can open it, but see, it is empty, right? It is an empty PDF document. But you see one thing, that see, its name is this, right? Just the name that we gave, correct? So I hope you have like understood how we built it. As for these buttons, like how we can, have something like this, right? If I go to home, I have this home page. Then if I go to about, I have an about page. And here the URL, if you see, is slash about. And here, if you go, the URL you see is slash portfolio. You're just hashing the different sections of the web page here, right? So I hope you all have like understood like how we have built this particular website. Like if there is any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. All the necessary files and CSS code that I will share in the group itself. I'm audible, right? Okay, so let's quickly have a recap of the whole thing that we built, right? So, first thing is that we divided this particular website in different components, correct? So first component was this header, and then inside of header we have two things, right? That is this particular image, and this is a separate component, and this is added because see, we have to make the site responsive as well, right? So for this particular thing, for this particular functionality, we made a separate component for this, right? For just the links present here. And then I have, this particular landing page, which is my home page, right? So if I click on home, I will be, directed to this page. Then we created a component for these socials, because we were using these socials at two places, right? At this particular place and at this place, right? Similarly, we have component for this particular thing, right? Because this thing we are using at two places, so we have a separate component called page header for that. And here we have a component for showing all our projects, and here we have a component for showing about me, right? So we divided our site into three pages, that is our landing page, about page, and project section. And then we divided these pages into some components, and then we have, used those components, like different components, and combined them to create these pages, and then together these pages have formed our website, right? Okay, so I hope you all have understood everything that we did. And tomorrow we will be discussing like how we'll be adding this slash about or slash home or slash projects thing. And also we will be discussing about how to upload your code on GitHub, and also to how to host your website, right? Like, if you want to share your website, it is not a good way to just provide someone with all your code and then tell them to view your website. Like, if you see, React apps are very heavy, right? If you go and see the properties, and from there, if you check what is the memory that this React app is taking, it will be more than 1 GB. All right, so that is the storage that a React app takes. So if you try to give this particular app to anyone and tell them like, take this 1 GB app and try to open it, so it will be a bit hectic. So if you want to show somebody your website, then you need to host it, right? So we'll be discussing like how to host. And a very nice thing about React, a problem that we discussed in previous session, we will be discussing using that, right? So until then, we'll see you tomorrow, right? So try to build this website. I will be sharing all the necessary files in group, and also in a form of document. So thank you everyone. Also, if you have any doubt, you can still put it in the chat section, or otherwise we can end the session. Okay, so I think everyone is clear with all the things that we discussed. All right, so see you guys tomorrow, and we'll be completing this app, and so that you guys can also create your own portfolios and share it. Okay.